Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode of Full Circle. Sorry for our tardiness. You know, life be lifing. The girlies are busy. And by the girlies, I mean Mariah. Because right now, I'm not really doing much. But we are here together with y'all. We're wrapping up season 1 of this pod. And yeah, so this was going to be our college episode. It still is going to be our college episode. First, Mariah, how are you doing? You've been all over the place.
I'm great.
Doing all of the things.
I'm great.
Guys, if you don't follow Mariah on any socials, please do that. She's so entertaining. You know what? I've been wanting to ask you about this. You've been bringing your TikToks to the gram. Have you been doing that?
Yes.
You've been doing that intentionally, or you're kind of just like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna... The world needs 100%. To see.
So being a content creator, if you guys out there are striving to do this or whatever, like it's really important to diversify. You know, we learned that when TikTok was about to die and like everyone was like,
what now?
But my fear of life used to be posting on Instagram, and my manager is always like, post reels, post reels, post reels. So now I just like decided to just let it go. And I post every single thing I post on TikTok onto reels in some form, whether that's my personal page or my Hoops for Hotties page. So the gram has been seeing me. And I feel like so many more of my friends now are seeing my videos because they're on Instagram.
I literally hate the algorithm because you're absolutely right. I've been seeing you a lot with your reels. You've been making me laugh because it's funny because I'm like, I just saw this on TikTok yesterday and now I'm seeing it again on Instagram. Exactly. But I've been seeing you more and I like hate that, but I also love that because I think it is good for people to just post it. Just post the shit. And I tell one of my best friends that all the time because she kind of gets nervous about posting. And I'm like, what are you nervous about? But then I'm like, girl, you haven't posted in a week. What are you nervous about? So I need to start listening to my own advice. I do hate reels though. They're embarrassing to me.
I know. I had to let go of the idea that Instagram was for me to be cute. Only.
Yeah. Well, because you're
had to let that go.
But your persona on socials, you talk a lot. So it's like, even like some of the girls I see on TikTok and then I find their Instagram pages and it's just all cutesy things. I'm like, this don't match with your TikTok. Like even on my TikTok, I don't really talk. I don't do much talking. Like just sitting in front of the camera, just yapping like my inner thoughts like you do, which I think is so funny. I want to get there one day, but I'm just like, I don't really be having anything to say like planned out.
Well, this is practice, this pod.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I'm just better like...
Because I've been doing this for 5 years.
I'm just better in like conversations. Like, because people like, some people are like, Lexie, you're actually like really funny. I didn't know that about you. And I'm like, yeah, actually, well, I'm not a comedian, but I'm a quick thinker. I'm pretty witty, I think. So it's like people will only catch me in most conversations. But no, if y'all don't follow Mariah on socials, please do that. She's amazing. She's hilarious. She'll get y'all caught up on everything from Love Island to the NFL, like whatever you need. She's a one-stop shop. Okay, first and foremost, before we get into this WNBA stuff, this college stuff, news broke yesterday about our CBA negotiations. And obviously, when that happens, everybody turns into a WNBA owner, economy major, business entrepreneur major. So I've been seeing... They're all the commissioner of businesses that they've never even had in their life. So, guys, Cannon got a haircut yesterday, by the way. If you don't recognize this hot dog behind me, he got a haircut.
He looks so cute.
He is so cute. Okay, so what news was shared yesterday is that the proposal will include revenue sharing with a maximum salary of more than $1.1 million available to more than one player per team, growing each year. The WNBA officials updated the board on the latest proposal at meetings this week. The new league minimum would be more than $220,000 with an average of more than $460,000. These numbers would start in the first year of the deal for more than 180 players and increase over the length of the CBA. So, yes, this is true. But this has been the case for months. This is not like yesterday, they didn't be like, oh, here's the proposal we have and leak it. This is the proposal that they gave us already that we've been like, no, this is not what we want. Like they're being messy right now and they're leaking information. And I think it's very calculated, obviously, but we've already known this. This is the proposal that we were like, no, because we're still on a fixed cap. We're still on a fixed increase and the revenue sharing doesn't kick in until after everything else is deducted. After we hit this mystery mark. Nothing has changed, people. So I know that everybody is going to get caught up in the big number, which don't get me wrong. Those numbers are incredible. I never thought in a million years I would be able to see those numbers as salaries for the WNBA during my career.
They're big numbers.
They're big numbers. So we are not sticking our nose up at the numbers. The numbers are great. It's the system that's flawed. It's the future that's flawed. This is just the salaries. We haven't even gotten into housing. We haven't even gotten to benefits. We haven't even gotten to travel. We haven't gotten into none of that yet. So the fact that they're just throwing out these big numbers with no context whatsoever is very irritating, but it's strategic. And applause to the ownership and the league. Great. Y'all are doing what y'all are supposed to do. But this is not like shocking breaking news to the players. We've been there, done that, seen this already. So I just wanted to clear that up for anybody that cares, that listens to our show, because I've seen a lot of discourse on the interwebs about it. And
they're trying to make y'all look ungrateful.
Exactly. And I hate that. I hate that now this is the path they're taking is look what we're giving them. They don't want this because why don't they want this money? And then it's just now, yeah, we do. And especially with the times that we're in right now, what the world is dealing with and what is going on right here in the United States. Yeah, it very much looks like WNBA players read the fucking room. And trust me, I get that. I understand that. But this is bigger than just salaries, guys. So the fact that y'all are not even knowing what else is in the CBA, it's literally everything. Everything, every benefit, every trainer, every medical, every where we stay on the road, everything is written in the CBA. So,
and
yeah.
Every W player I've talked to about the CBA has also mentioned the fact that again, salaries isn't the main, it's the one thing that everybody in the world is oh, WNBA players want more money, they want more money. But there's also that other piece of it of taking away your off-season potential or that's a big thing. It's you might give me this money, but you're taking away my opportunity to make money elsewhere. That might be more money than that money you're talking
exactly.
about. So
exactly. And speaking of those off-season opportunities, yeah, you can make, a good amount of money in the W, but not playing to your full potential, not the world not seeing your personality, brands not seeing you because you're the 8th, 9th, 10th player on this team. You go to your other league, you're a star. In most cases, you go overseas, you're a star. You're broadening your reach. You're reaching a global audience. So the fact that there is a chance that they're also trying to take that away on top of everything else, it's no, we're not going for it. And yes, the numbers look good. They're pretty, they're shiny, they're big. They're something that we've never seen before. But this whole situation is so much bigger than that. And I even listened to Elena Beard on the Sarah Spain show, shout out Sarah Spain, talking about Project B and what they're doing over there. And respectfully, Elena gave nothing. She gave us nothing really. She gave us little crumbs, but as far Sarah was trying, Sarah was digging, and Elena was airtight, but that's her personality. She's very private and really good about stuff like that. But basically, the things that I took away, they're basically trying to make F1 for basketball. That was her summary of what Project B is. She said they got a lot of money, they got a lot of tech people involved. And they're trying to make women's basketball global. So when I'm listening to the players that they could potentially sign, I'm thinking of WNBA vets that have a presence in Europe, so that have played many years overseas. I'm thinking of actual international players that have never even been to the W before. I feel like that's going to be they're going to have more international players than people probably think they're going to have. I mean, it sounds like a really cool idea. And she was very, very vocal on, we're not trying to dismantle the WNBA. Like this, we're not trying to compete with the WNBA. This is just simply a different opportunity, a different look for women's basketball players to make money playing sport they love. She was very vocal about making sure that people know that these off-season leagues are not meant to dismantle the W. Like these off-season leagues wouldn't exist without the W. So if y'all want to learn more about Project B, head to Sarah Spain's show. She interviewed Elena Beard, Duke legend. So yeah, if y'all want to know about that, head over there. It was actually a really good interview, but like I said, Elena was very limited with the information she could share, but I did learn a lot and it does seem like a really cool thing. Anything else? CBA, WNBA. Oh, if y'all don't know, Nneka Ogwumike and Alyssa Thomas announced that they were joining Project B, which everyone was like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, they are like very seasoned overseas players. So the whole concept of not wanting to go overseas anymore, like that doesn't apply to all players. Some players really, really enjoy going overseas. I was like 50-50. Like it was cool living over there, but I was like, I miss my family. I miss my friends.
Living is crazy. That's where you lose me. See, a week, cool. It's not like going to Seattle or something where you can go for a couple months or a couple weeks and come back. Like
no,
that's too
it's far. It's far and like fresh out of college and you just get dropped into a new country and you're just kind of like, they're just kind of like, figure it out. And you have to. But at the end of the day, you're there to play basketball and they do not play when it comes to basketball. I've told y'all all the time, like you live in the gym when you play overseas. 2-a-days, like you wake up, you go to practice, you take a nap, you go to your second practice, and now it's nighttime and you're tired as shit. So you just go to bed and you repeat, and that's it. And you learn a lot about yourself when you're overseas. But I had a nice time. I wouldn't if I had to go back, I wouldn't change anything, but...
I interviewed an Olympic volleyball player and she was talking about playing overseas because volleyball is different in the way that there's not really there are now, but before there weren't really domestic professional leagues for women to play volleyball. Like you played in college and you could be the best player in the nation and that was kind of it if you didn't go overseas. And she was talking about how when they would go overseas, it would be fine when they were playing the language barrier. But because everybody, you speak volleyball, you speak basketball, you kind of like, you can get it. But she was like, outside of that, like trying to like foster relationships and like make friends with my team, it's impossible.
So hard. It's so hard. And they are very aware of the language barrier, which I always appreciated that. And then I tried to learn. I mean, my first country was Hungary, guys. Hungarian is such a hard language. They have extra letters in their alphabet. Like, it is a very hard. Yes, like, their language is like symbols and like, it's crazy. I tried really hard. And then they have the really heavy accents. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I went from Hungarian to Hebrew when I played in Israel. That was hard. And then French. I did Spanish my whole life. So I was SOL my overseas time.
That didn't apply to any of that.
Spanish did not help me nowhere I was playing. So when I had shooting practices in France, they made me count. Like, they made me use French numbers. And that was like my French practice.
Isn't that
like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a bunch of other things that I can't. It was like, so like we would do shooting practice and I'd make like 9 out of 10 shots. And I'd be like 9 for 10. And he'd be like, what? And I'd be like, and then I had to say it in French instead. And they're all like, good job, Lexie. And I felt like a little kid in class.
That's insane.
But, okay, enough professional basketball talk.
Well, let's come back to the U.S., I guess.
Yeah, back to the United States with the women's basketball that's going on right now, which is college. And we haven't touched on college at all yet. So this is going to be like our little mini college catch-up recap for the season so far until we come back in the new year. I don't even know where to start. Where are we going to start?
Well, we could start with the top 25.
Top 25 that my Dukies have fallen out of. Not happy about that. You know what? I didn't think that people really had beef with Duke for real until like I got there. Like when I was at Maryland, I thought like that all that was made up. Like people really like y'all think y'all
people take that seriously.
I was like, y'all like, who do y'all think y'all are at Duke? Like people really don't hate y'all as much. Yes, they do. They do. And I didn't realize that until I got there. And I was like, oh, like y'all are like really most hated, no matter what, whether y'all are good or bad. Duke is like most hated. And it was fun, but like now as a fan, it's very annoying. I don't like it. And I felt like the committee was not, they couldn't wait to kick them out of the top 25 for whatever reason. And actually, let's talk about that game right now. If you guys didn't know.
Duke, West Virginia
last week. There was a little bit of a feisty moment at the end of the first half, which I watched it and I was like, okay. Like it was not that, no punches were thrown, nothing. But benches were cleared. Which if you guys do not know, if you are on the bench and an altercation happens on the court and you leave your bench and step on the court, you're ejected immediately. It could be like your toe, the edge of your toe. If you
I didn't know that.
If you exit your coach bench area and step onto the court, you're ejected. So obviously they were like, because I saw the headline and it was like, blah, 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 players ejected. And I was like, oh my God, there was a fight. No, it was because they cleared the bench. And you're not allowed to do that. So that's why the players were ejected. West Virginia ended up finishing the game with only 5 players. 5. And beat Duke at West Virginia.
They're 23 on the poll, y'all.
Okay. I'm glad that you said that because yes, playing with 5 players and losing is unacceptable as a top 20 program. Absolutely. But can we like not disrespect these West Virginia players because they're top 20. They're a top 25 team. So that wasn't a scrub team that they were playing. And just because they had 5 healthy bodies doesn't mean that they weren't capable to win a basketball game, clearly. So people were like feeling away about the Duke game and can't believe y'all lost. Can't believe. As if those 5 players that suited up for West Virginia weren't college basketball players too. I didn't
Lexie,
see.
You sound like such a fan.
Like, God.
Lexie, that's insane.
No.
Lexie, that's insane. Losing to 5 players is insane. I'm sorry.
Guys, these teams don't play more than 5 players anyway. like these, again, I don't know. I didn't see who was ejected or not ejected, but if it was as many players that left the bench, those girls probably wasn't playing anyway, for being honest. So, yes, Duke should not have lost that game. Don't get me wrong. When I saw that, I was like, girly pops, no. But now West Virginia is number 23 in the country. So that's not some bummy teams. People always have been asking me about what I think about Duke. I think they are a great defensive team. I think the way Kara has taught those young girls how to defend has been super impressive. Like you don't see very many college teams move as a unit defensively like Duke does. My issue with them has been their inability to score the basketball. And it's been like this since Kara got there. And I don't know if that's by design. I don't know if they just do defensive slides all practice and nothing else. They're currently averaging 69 points per game. Last year, they finished the season averaging 74, and the season before, 69. Right now, currently, the top 5 teams in the country are all averaging 84 points or more per game. I think a few of the highest teams are like in the hundreds. So the game is shifting. We see it on all levels. It's shifting to a more offensive-minded approach because it's entertainment, it's fun, it's fast-paced. The players are more athletic, they're more skilled. So, people go, if like offense wins game, defense wins championships. I don't know. You need a really...
I don't know, but if you can't score no points,
a really...
you gotta screw.
You have to have a really good offense. Like, I think that statement is so flawed in so many ways. As true as it is, it's like, no, like...
Because here's the thing. Even if you play perfect defense, if I score 0 and you score 0, we tied. So that's still not a win.
And if you play excellent defense and you make a few mistakes and the score is like 4-0, you still lose. You have to put the ball in the basket. And that has been my thing with this Duke team the last few years. Just they're not scoring at a high rate, and they have players that can score. The player that I'm looking at is Toby. She's just a sophomore. She's just a baby, but that team is very veteran-led. They have a lot of seniors and juniors on that team. So I think they're going to be fine. Toby, I think, is going to have to make a major leap from last year to this year, but they have to figure out their offense. They're going to have to. But them getting kicked out of the top, I think they went from 15 to out. Like...
that it's bad.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't understand that, but hey, I think they'll find their way back. They're like the last team out. Like they got like if they had like a few more votes, they would be 25. But I'm like, y'all are tripping, kicking them out like that.
There were some other big moves. There were some other big moves that happened in the top 25. We got Michigan, who climbed 8 spots, number 6, after they beat Notre Dame 93-54. Mm-hmm. Wow.
See, and Notre Dame only dropped 6. I'm sorry, losing by 50 to a ranked team, like, you should have got penalized way more for that. Way more than Duke
100%.
Losing by a little bit to
as
a ranked team.
Like,
no, that was actually ridiculous. I checked that score and I thought there was a glitch on ESPN because I was like, there's no way Notre Dame's losing like that. But after looking at some of the highlights and even like the games in the past that they started the season, it's like, this is not the same Notre Dame team that we've seen as of recent years. I think they have limited offensive firepower, which is why Hannah Hidalgo has taken the brunt of that responsibility offensively, which we saw also last week when she had a record-breaking performance of 44 points and 16 steals, which
insane.
What is absolutely ridiculous. And people, and you know, and I don't like to bring the internet onto our show, but sometimes you got to kind of check the pulse of things, especially with college, because there's so many games going on at the same time. People were like, well, it was against a bad team. It was against a bad team. I can respect the fact that no matter who's in front of Hannah Hidalgo, she's playing balls to the walls. Like, she does not care who her opponent is. She doesn't play down to her competition. If she thinks you're food, you're food. If she thinks she can take the ball from you.
I mean, 16 steals? No, of course they were bad.
Yeah. But it's like, even on the worst teams that I've ever played in college, I ain't get 16 fucking steals. Like,
right. That's very impressive.
But I will say, as a defender, if anybody knows about defense, like a lot of steal, when you get steals, you're gambling, you're guessing. 9 times out of 10, you're guessing where the ball is going to be. And you are wrong more than you're right. So I didn't watch the totality of that game. I would love to see like how many steals she like went for versus how many she got. She had to have gone, unless it was just one of those games where like the ball was just finding her. And I think as good as a defender she is, she's averaging 7 steals a game right now. As good as she is at having a mind and a knack for finding the ball defensively, there is a level of her that's going to have to learn to pick her battles and not gamble so much. Because when she gambles and she guesses wrong, she puts her whole team at risk of getting scored on because now she's out of position and now you're in rotations. So for someone that averages 7 steals a game, like she's going for steals a lot, which means she's putting her team in rotations a lot. Because even if you get your hands on one, you might not always get it, but now you're flying over there. The ball is going towards the basket. You're out of position. So I think that's the growth that we'll see in her game, especially defensively, because you can't always go for those steals, especially when you're playing a team like Michigan, who's very good they're underrated as far as like their player development because they've had some players make really good jumps from last year to this year. They were taking care of the ball. So excited for Michigan. They're always solid. Michigan's always solid. Notre Dame, they're missing Olivia Miles bad. They're missing Sonia. Ooh. They're missing Sonia Cintron even badder. So yeah, I mean, that happens, guys, when people graduate and leave. Like they leave gaping holes on teams. And
wow.
Yeah. That's what's going on.
What do you think about TCU?
And and that is
TCU hopping into the top 10.
That's where the transfers are going right now. And the gaping holes that were left with Haley Van Lith and Sedona Prince have been filled quite nicely by Olivia Miles and other players that have transferred in. I knew that TCU was going to be a better team with Olivia Miles as their point guard. She has such great court vision. They just beat North Carolina State, which was a huge win for them. So happy to see top teams playing each other early in the season. It doesn't happen that often. But when you get a matchup like that, like you have to pay attention to both sides. NC State, they start off really, really hot. They've kind of like hit kind of like a struggle moment right now, but it's good to get that. That's why you got to play good teams early. We're going to get into that in a second with the next team we're about to talk about, because there has to be some type of benefit or tick on you for the tournament based on your non-conference. And yes, strength of schedule, yes, that comes into play, but some of these non-conference games are so hard to watch. And I've never been at a mid-major. My sister went to a mid-major and my brother's at a lower mid-major right now. And they agree to these games because they get money for them. So I get annoyed with some of these coaches that put their players in these really horrible, embarrassing situations playing these Power 5 programs. But they're like doing it for the program. Like they're doing it for the school. And that's just kind of the reality of college sports now. Like it's always happened in the past, but I just feel like now it's happening like way, way more because these smaller schools are trying to keep up with these bigger schools as far as like being able to give their players money, provide adequate stuff for their athletes when they come play at their schools. It's like a money race. It's a money grab. And I've always said the NIL is ruining college sports. Not at the top. Not the Power 5, they're thriving in NIL. This NIL era has been absolutely amazing for the Power 5s. I'm talking about all the other schools. The things that the new hurdles that they are now experiencing for not having the same amount of money, the same amount of luxuries, the travel accommodations. Like there's so many things now that are like being spotlighted at these smaller programs, and they're trying to just get as much money as they can playing these teams. Who did I see? Somebody beat somebody by like 80 or something. And I'm just like...
Are you talking about the LSU game?
Was that the game? Because I think I put it on my story.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would never pick up a basketball again.
Who did they play? Didn't they play Georgia Southern?
I don't know who they play. LSU is beating the crap out of people right now. And Kim has... And I'm going to ask Kalani this when we interview her. Breaking news, we're interviewing Kalani Brown on our next episode. But I'm going to ask her about Kim, like, why does she make y'all's non-conference like that? Like, why does she keep doing that? And it's funny because now people are really like, why are you doing that? And she's like, because this is what I do. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep scheduling these terrible teams for my team to beat up on. And we still going to make it to the Final Four. So say something. So I'm like... You're right, Kim, because y'all do be making it to the Elite Eight and Final Four every year. So, I can't even say nothing about it. But I just can't fathom a top 5 team having the schedule they have and being top 5. They didn't even get to the Final Four.
Here's the thing.
Last year.
What bothers me with what you're saying is that's exactly why I don't think it should be allowed. Like, obviously, NIL is a great thing. Y'all know I don't want to take money out of nobody's pockets, okay? Especially not an athlete. But I do think it needs to switch up a little bit. They should not be allowed to get paid to go, like, buy the school. Like that should not be a thing. Like the school's resources should go to the program, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like they should not be like paying salaries for players and like trading them. And that is a mess. And you're right. It only screws everybody else, the little guys, because they don't have the money to do that. So then there's no parity and there's no room for growth. It's the rich get richer and the poor get poor. Like that sucks.
Yeah, I'm glad you said parity, because the parity that we were so excited about happening has now just completely reversed. Like there's no more parity. Like I was looking at the top 25. There's no like mid-majors anywhere. Like usually it's Creighton. Fairfield has always like been there the last few years. Creighton is always ends up in the top 25 by the end of the year. And there was one more. It was like either I think it's South Dakota State, or North Dakota State, one of those. They always end up in the top 25 at the end of the year because they have a really good record and they like blow through their conferences. But now it's like you have these players at these mid-majors and they jump and ship to these bigger schools because they want money. So like the parity that we were starting to love about women's basketball is now like is gone completely. Like the top 25 is all Power 5. And there's like
there's no like
one or two in the other receiving votes. And that's it. Like
we're starting to lose that thing in college sports that I love so much about it that makes it's like that identity part of it where like I'll never be an Atlanta Hawk, but I've been a Georgia Bulldog because I went to school there. And like, you know, growing up in Georgia, people dream of going there because their granddad went there. We just talked about this with Andrea, like her wanting to go to Tennessee her whole life. And we literally talked about this with her. Had NIL been on the table and she'd been offered all this money to go to some other school, she might have never went to the school that was her dream school to begin with in the first place and like had that pride to be there. And so it takes all of that away, like, which sucks for a kid who's very impressionable, very young. They're kids, so they have no money coming into this situation. Yeah. And you got an 18-year-old taking care of their whole family off of going to school. And it's just like, it puts them in a bad situation. Of course, they're going to be impressionable to choose a school that might not be the right fit for them or jump ship from a school that they really love because they're going to pay them more. Yeah. Like, I don't like it at all. I want them to get their brand deals and get their money, but that...
Yeah, because now I feel like now where it's getting mixy is the schools being able to pay. And I'm just like...
100%.
It's interesting because they're never going to be able to like initiate like a salary cap system or a contract because then you're not amateurs anymore. So that's never going to happen. Right. And if it does, then they're going to have to unionize. Like they're already trying to start that, the unionization of college athletes. Like that's already in the works. Elizabeth was telling us about that like back in January when we interviewed Elizabeth Williams. I'm just like what do you do? Like I'm seeing players be at a program for 3 years, build something incredible, make crazy tournament runs, and then they out because they want money. Like I don't care what any of them say. Y'all not trying to win championships. Like ring chasing culture doesn't exist in college. I'm sorry, it doesn't. That's a pro sports thing. These players are leaving for a bag, and that's fine. But now I'm just like, where's the fun? Where's the storytelling is now like, I don't even know what the storylines are in women's college basketball right now because so many people moved around. And that's been our issue with men's college basketball for many, many years. Even before NIL, guys were just bouncing around. Like, how can I get to the league easier? Or what will give me a better path to the league? Now it's just like, where can I get the most money? And at this point, like, where's the team with the least amount of transfers? And I'm saying this as a transfer kid, guys. Like, I was a transfer kid. So I understand, like, how hard it was for me to make that decision. And there was no money on the table. Like, I had to sit out. So my experience as a transfer
bring
kid...
back sitting out.
Sit your ass down and think about your decision. Think about what the choice you just made, because that's what I had to do my first year in Durham. Is this really like where I want to be? And if it's not, you better make it the place you want to be, and you better make the most out of your situation because you not leaving again. But even me talking from the experience of a transfer kid, like my experience is so vastly different than the experience of transfer kids now. I can't even. I don't even think I have to preface anything by saying, "Oh, guys, I was a transfer kid too." It's not the same. as it was when I was in college. But I feel like, speaking on the transfers, we can even just get into the biggest transfer. I felt like that surprised it didn't really surprise anybody that watched South Carolina closely. This wasn't surprising that she left. And now that we're also talking about LSU, is Michaela Fulwiley, who left South Carolina to go to their arch nemesis, LSU. Can't wait for that game. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for that game. Whenever it is, it's probably sometime in freaking March or something. She's currently leading LSU in scoring. I will say one thing about Kim is she lets them girls off their leash quickly. So we were just talking about their non-conference schedule, and it's horrible. I hate it. But despite that, LSU looks very impressive. Flau'jae looks great. Michaela Williams looks great. Michaela looks good. She's coming off the bench though, which was surprising. But they're leading scorer currently. Did you see their little online beef they had, LSU? Did you see that?
No.
Mariah.
Why is that always happening with them?
Because they're like the you know what we need to do? Our next college episode, which will be once conference play starts. I want to like categorize like the top teams into like things that like women can digest. Like we gotta like call like, you know what I mean?
This is right up my alley.
We gotta figure it out because LSU is something. And
I usually don't do this until March, but I got you.
Yeah, we need to do it because LSU, I mean, they've been those girls for some time now. So yeah, as we stated, their non-conference is boo-boo. And they played Charlotte last week. And, you know, women's basketball fans do not play. Internet detectives. Charlotte, 2 players from the Charlotte women's basketball team posted a TikTok dancing with the words. And it was like, point of view, LSU's finally playing some real competition or something like that, right? They were dancing. I think they posted 2 videos, right? You know, the internet clocked it quickly. And I think LSU beat them by like 60. Ended up beating them by like 60 or something.
How did they not know this was going to happen?
You know what I love? You know what I will love? I love that they weren't ducking smoke. I love the confidence, but no. I don't
know if I love that because they might. If I were on that team, I'd be like, "Why did you do that?"
Apparently, the coach
made them anyway.
Apparently, the coach made them take it down at like halftime of the game or something, delete it. But like, baby, the internet is forever, honey. Like, you should have just
at halftime of the game.
You should have stood 10 toes because you know that video wasn't going nowhere. You got to stay 10 toes,
right?
So yeah, they ended up losing by like 50, and then LSU, I think they had 5 or 6 technical fouls throughout the game for like taunting the bench and the other team.
And Kim probably
loved it. And if y'all want to know the type of energy that LSU always coming with, is that. And that's why I've always been able to even respect them despite their bad non-conference schedule. Like when the moment comes, they usually ride. And more times than not, they rise into the occasion and they backing up, you know, all of the things that they have and just them being who they are. So LSU's number 5 right now. They've probably been like the most fun team to watch, in my opinion, even though like their games have been bad. I can't think of any other team that I've like actually watched multiple games of, and I will do a better job at that when conference play starts because I can't watch some of these games. Also got to show love to Connecticut, South Carolina, always solid, always 1-2, 2-1.
1-2.
Yeah. Connecticut.
1A, 1B.
Connecticut they just always look just well-oiled machine. So impressive that every year Gino can have new players.
I was about to say, good coaching.
Yeah, you have a player like Paige leave and you come back and you don't look like you've missed a beat at all. And that's definitely a credit to coaching, but also the culture that Gino has built in Connecticut. Speaking of Connecticut, before we leave, I want to talk about my top players right now in the Power 5. I won't get into many details why. I don't got to explain nothing to y'all. really, especially when it comes to this. This is just opinions, okay? This is just opinions based on stats. Like, here I go explaining stats and what I've seen, eye test. And then we're going to talk about a few freshmen that you guys should keep an eye out on. So for me, top 5 players in college right now, the Power 5. Talia Scott, who plays at Baylor. Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd, who are at UConn. Liv McGill, who is at Florida. And Madison Booker, who are at Texas. I will say, like, maybe these won't be the top 5. I'll say, like, these are, like, my favorite 5 right now. Lexie's faves. I think Sarah Strong is the best player in college basketball right now.
She's insane.
She's a sophomore.
She's insane.
Pro ready. Body is pro ready. Her skill set is pro ready. So I'm just really excited to see her growth. And the fact that Gino just continues to collect these gems. Even though people swear UConn, whatever it is, supremacy is dead. It is not, absolutely is not dead. It never will be.
Right after they won?
Right, never will be.
Who swore that?
Never will be dead. Like, they thought NIL was going to kill Gino and UConn, and he's risen above it. Like, come on now.
If anything, it's helped it, because those girls make money too.
Yeah, so that UConn brand is strong. That culture is strong.
Brand deals?
Yeah. I have honorable mentions, Michaela Blake, Hannah Hidalgo, Audie Crooks, Joyce Edwards, and Flau'jae. So those are like my 10 faves that I'm keeping a close eye on this season because, 1, I love scoring. 2, I also love defense, but then I just love well-rounded players. That's something that I really like to see, especially in a college game where you really have to do a little bit of everything to be noticed a little bit. So I think those 10 players are doing a really good job of helping their teams win, but also showing who they are on and off the court. So those are my faves. I don't know if you have any faves, Mariah. I know you're not as tapped into college basketball as...
No, not yet. Like, it's still too early.
Right.
You feel me? But I will say, I could have told you that Sarah Strong was going to be like this after last year.
Yeah.
So
Hooper.
this was to be expected.
Hooper.
I'm really excited for her.
If we're talking about probably the 2 most pro-ready players right now, it's Sarah Strong and Madison Booker. Like, Madison Booker, she's at Texas, if y'all don't know. Like, she's so much fun to watch. And they kind of remind me of each other, like their style of play and the way they play. I would like to see a Sarah Strong, Madison Booker matchup this year. I would love that, committee. Make it happen, because I know y'all could do that. And yeah, some of the freshmen that I've been clocking a little bit, Jazzy Davidson, Aaliyah Chavez, Blanca Quinones, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Aaliyah Crump, and Lena Girardi. Those are some diaper dandies. We don't really use that in women's college, and I think we should. Those are some freshmen that are hooping right now on really good teams. And yeah, I'm excited for them. We're just, we're seeing the little caterpillars right now and see what they blossom and grow into. Who knows? They might change the age in the new CBA. Who knows? They might do that. We might see some of them in the W very, very soon. I doubt that.
Oh
but
my gosh.
Would not shock me, but that's not that. Let me stop. We haven't even talked about that in our meetings. Let me stop lying to the people. That has not even come up in a single meeting.
You started rumors.
That hasn't come up one time in a meeting as lowering the age. So let me shut up.
Bigger fish to fry.
No, facts. Okay, I know this episode was a little bit all over the place, guys, but there are a lot of good things happening in women's college basketball, and I'm excited for us to cover it in the new year when we get, a little bit more competitive matchups. We get to see how everything starts to shake out. So yeah, anything else you want to add, Mariah?
Listen, I hope for your sake, Doogie can get back in the top 25.
We'll be back. Okay. We were one shot away from the Final Four last year, guys. Was it the Final Four when they lost to South Carolina?
Yeah, right. Because we were
so
before,
close.
not the Final Four.
No, it was the Elite Eight game, right?
Yeah, because we were all making fun of you for having them in your Final Four.
Y'all sure were. And I was 1 3-pointer away from being right. All right, Cannon.
Well, Cannon's saying, get off this mic. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Full Circle. Make sure to subscribe, watch us on video, show us some love on social. And thank you so much for tuning in again.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.